Hello and welcome back to VGC. For the annual tradition, Ben Starr is on my couch.
Yeah.
Ben Starr, how you doing?
I'm really good.
Last time we saw each other was here last year. Is that the
I
case?
don't think it was it this exact room?
So we were up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're poolside this year.
Yeah, the configuration is exactly the same, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's deja vu. But yeah, we're back. When you messaged me, I was like, yeah. Did you message me the picture of Billie Eilish? Or did I say it's like Billie Eilish?
I messaged you the picture of
Yeah,
Billie Eilish.
I feel like that's what it is. Every single year we come back. We should just, in fact, just rewatch last year's interview and just see how I feel about it. It's not consistent like the Billie Eilish one where she answers the same questions. But yes, here we are. Very much the Billie Eilish of the games industry.
I've always said that. I feel like you've maybe answered enough questions about Final Fantasy 16. Would you say?
I'm so grateful to have that game in my life, and it will always be with me. But I don't think there is a question about Final Fantasy 16 that I haven't already answered. You know,
I mean, most people get one of those in their life, and then you rolled straight onto Clear Obscure. So that's another one for you.
Yeah, and we were right in the mix last year when we spoke about it. We just did the IGN Live thing. We were dressed up in the baguette outfits that had just happened.
Yeah.
And what a year for that video game.
What a ridiculous year for that video game.
Ridiculous, yeah. Wowee.
I talked about it when you did Final Fantasy because obviously you became Johnny. Well, you were always Johnny Final Fantasy, but you were very much publicly Johnny Final Fantasy after that. And then you have this huge year on a game that really traded on such a lovable cast, like yourself and Jen and everyone that was very much doing. You saw the people together all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what is the difference between working on a game like that and having that kind of reaction to something that you work on, you put the same amount of effort in, same amount of love, but it doesn't have that lasting legacy?
Oh, huge difference. I mean, I just think you can never predict how a game is going to land. And Expedition 33 was something that we really committed to from the beginning. Jen and I made a point of thinking this is really special, and it was something that we confidently wanted to put our names behind. And then as the game came out, the reviews flowed in, the love, the outpouring of love really kind of came into focus. I think people felt a lot more confident about kind of coming into view and sharing that, because when you have that much love coming at a game, you kind of got to share it around, because it's a lot. And obviously we had a brilliant cast of people who may not have really ventured into video games before and suddenly realize that there is this world of people who are not just passionate about a game, they're passionate about the world and everything, all the ancillary things, the concert, the music, the concert series, which is absolutely insane, and then all the art. And you know, I'm very lucky to have the official art book. I'm very lucky to have all of the crazy, ridiculous things that Soundfall have produced on the side. But this world is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, because, to be honest, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is just the tip of the iceberg for this sort of thing. And so actors realize that there's just so much more to explore, and it's not really stopped. Like, you know, we're into the next game cycle, and there's more hype for what's going to be Game of the Year next year, but there is still this insanely passionate fan base of people that want to keep talking about it.
So if you're a video archaeologist, you can go back to when we were in Canada for TennoCon, and I asked you about it, and you're like, can't really say anything about it, but excited, and then it's like,
I mean,
smash cut to.
It is so well documented amongst probably you and your friends of, you know, in the industry, of people that I told about this game. I spoke about this game before it came out, and I could confidently speak about this game because no one knew about it, and no one really knew how it would land. But I remember showing it to Jake Baldino.
Who?
Jake Baldino, and I snuck him away at a cyberpunk party at Gamescom, and I went, do you want to see something fucking cool? And I showed him this trailer, and he was like, dude, that looks so sick. And, you know, it was just this game that I sat on that I knew would be really, really, really special. Didn't know it'd be popular though. So
it's a really amazing thing. And I asked you this question at the end of the 16 kind of cycle. Do you feel like you're closing the book on it now? Do you feel like it's
on Expedition 33?
Yes, as the kind of the main thing, because it's beloved, it's become a classic, but the industry's always moving. You're always moving. Do you feel like you've come to the end of this moment with that game?
Psychologically and emotionally, I will usually close a book on a video game exactly 1 year after it comes out. And that isn't disrespect to a video game. That is just me saying, what a year. I really wanted to see that out. And the great kind of symmetry of the game coming out and the BAFTAs happening and it kind of completing that, winning all the Game of the Year, major Game of the Year award-winning moments, Jen and I just said, let's just, in our minds, close the book on that. It will always be something that we want to celebrate with fans. Hell, I mean, we were walking around SGF Play Days yesterday and it was this just people wanting to share their stories about what ending they experienced.
Is that the number one thing that you get stopped for now?
Pardon?
Is that the number one thing you get stopped for now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if we're together.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
I really look. I have a Final Fantasy 16 tattoo on my arm. I will always be Clive Rossfield to people in the same way that I will always be Versa to other people. I will always be this one character because not everyone plays all games. You can't. Some actors will always be that person. I'm sure that. Troy Baker will be Delson Rowe to some people, right? Because that's just the way it is. Or someone might not know Nolan North from Uncharted and be like, "Hey, aren't you the lead in Spec Ops: The Line?"
Deadpool.
yeah, whatever. So I wherever you know me from, thanks. I get a lot of. I have a hugely passionate fan base of people from Warframe who don't know me from anything else other than Warframe, and they are so fierce because you can romance Arthur in Warframe.
Finally,
but people are so passionate about him and me and my relationship with that character that they will only know me from that.
Especially if it's a live service title where that is like the only game some people play, getting ingrained in something like that it's a totally different fan base that you're hooking onto that might not know you from all this other stuff. This year, now the showcases are done, there's maybe another one to come, but it's a year you were obviously on stage for Fortnite, so we'll actually start there. How are you in Fortnite, man?
I love it. Look, I'm wearing an Oathbound pin. I'm wearing a Geno pin. This is my first interview about Geno.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Exclusive. Put that in the headline. Geno finally speaks.
I like how I'm not asking you like a respectful interviewer question about it. It's more like, how did you end up in Fortnite?
How the fuck did you end up in Fortnite? I've known Brandon for a really, really long time, who's the amazing casting director on Fortnite, and he's responsible for all the amazing people that you see in that, in the game. And I'd known him for a few years, and we'd always said, it'd be really great to kind of work together. And before Christmas, I just got this message through saying there's an offer from Fortnite. They want you to play the Visitor. Now, I don't play Fortnite, but I know who the Visitor is. I know who the Seven are, because I'm just kind of across video games. I went, that's cool, but the Visitor has never really had a voice. I understand that Donald Mustard did potentially do a voice for. I understand this. I've done my research. I know. But this was like a story beat, so I went, I will absolutely voice the Visitor. Came into my session, and there were maybe 15, 20 people on the call, and it was like, Ben, welcome to Fortnite. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, I guess. And they said, did you know anything about the Visitor? And I said, this is what I know. This is my experience. And I'm very pretty. I'm very pretty.
You are very pretty. A lot of people are saying that.
I am very thorough in the research that I do for a role. Told them everything I knew about the Visitor. And then they said, well, we're actually then, you're not. You are Geno. And so Steve, who's, I believe the narrative lead, the unbelievable, like Steve, who no longer works at Epic, shout out to Steve, he had this amazing arc that he designed that, Geno was going to come back and arrive really for the first time. He has appeared before. Damien Haas has voiced other versions of that character, but like Geno, this version, he's out there, and he went, this is what's going to happen, and you're gonna shoot Troy Baker in the back, and
yeah, so I'll do that.
Do you know? I went, I'll do it. Yeah, how do I? It kind of shocked me because I played a lot of heroes, and I went, I'm really in my villain era. Like I'm doing marathon.
You've got a baddie voice, so that's the thing. Like your voice suits bad men, and they've cast you as hunky boys. So
hunky
far.
boys. I mean, like Geno is still a hunky. Geno is such a hunky boy. But then I just did all the cinematics, and it was super special. I was so excited to do it, and the size, the Epic team are big because they have so many. They have to work so quickly. So you have this team that are in charge of cinematics and these different kind of directors coming in, and JB Blanc and Elias Tufexis and Kritzia. Like they have been really great, like guides for this in this huge machine. And then they were like, we're going to reveal. We're going to do a trailer that's going to be at SGF, and by the way, do you want to get up on stage?
Oh yeah. And you're like, let me get this T-shirt printed before I go.
I went on a call. I went on a call with. I'm having the T-shirt of me at the Summer Game Fest because, as a joke, I love being a part of Fortnite. But I went. Nothing says Ben Stoll will do anything for money than shilling Fortnite, a game that doesn't really need me to shill for it. So I went, I've got to get up on stage and have that. And so I told Jeff on the call and all the team from SGF, and they just went, yeah, we love it. And then I asked him if he could introduce me as two-time loser,
great,
which was awesome. The whole SGF team was super fun. And there was an opening that I didn't get to say where I wanted to introduce myself as, this was next, which was, hello, I'm all-consuming video game virus Ben Starr, an actor who, for the purposes of this moment, was less expensive than The Rock but more available than Troy Baker. And they went, no, maybe you can't say that. And I went, fair enough. But yeah, that was my journey. And Geno now has a big old storyline coming, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm in Fortnite for a while.
So on that, when you're doing these voices for live service games, when story elements flit in and out of the game, it's not a solid project that will be there forever. How do you feel about that? Because obviously people record the cutscenes and you can always go and watch them on YouTube and stuff like that, but is there something that changes for you when your performance is kind of a moment, it's more transient than a typical performance of yours?
It's crazy, isn't it? When you think about it, you're going, some of my favorite work I've done is in transient moments. Like the most proud, I'm really proud of the cutscene that plays in Marathon when Durandal speaks to you for the first time. I listen to that and I'm so happy with that. But people will experience it maybe once.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I don't know, like you just have to just be good at your job and then not worry about whether it's going to land or not. Because actually also there's some stuff that I really like is in narrative games that no one's played.
Yeah.
You know, so you just don't know what's going to, you can't really control stuff. I'm just fortunate enough that I'm in enough stuff where something's going to stick. My career is very much you throw enough shit at the wall, something's going to stick.
Yeah, I've often thought that. I suppose you're not like, when you rank your own performances, you're not like, well, Final Fantasy 16 did very well, Clair Obscur did very well, and this game didn't, so therefore I don't like it as much.
Well, when I talk about my career, I talk about kind of like Mount Rushmore. I talk about my career. When I think about my career.
He's never not talking about his career.
When I shut the fuck up about your career, Ben. When I think about where I want my career to go, I want to be a part of really cool projects. I want to be a part of like indie projects. I want to lend whatever it is that I can bring to a project and commit to it wholeheartedly. But when it comes to things that have meaning to people that really resonate, I think about my career and like the Mount Rushmore of like what would go if I was to die, what would be the things that they put on there. And I feel like there are a few people few characters right now who would kind of like sit there and contend there, and I'm currently working on some projects in general that hopefully will sit up in that thing where they go, oh, I loved you in that thing. And as long as I'm working on one of those, I'm really happy, because again, you're not going to play everything. And
so how are you picking things these days then? Is it a mental Rolodex of, okay, I'm going to commit to this massive thing for X number of years, but in the meantime, I want some projects that I can record and they are released to the, like a Fortnite, for example, I can record and get out quicker so that you're not constantly in the weeds of like the stuff you're working on is next year, following year. So
I'm not in control of the games that I get offered. I am in control of the games that I choose to say yes to. I'm also not in control of when the games come out. Like it just got announced at the PC Gaming Show that I'm involved in Stronghold 4. I'm kind of alongside Samantha Bayard, like the lead character in the narrative aspect of Stronghold 4. I'm so proud of some of the work I've done in that game. I recorded that such a long time ago, like 2024 I recorded that game, and I've just kind of patiently waited, and I didn't plan for when that was going to come out, and I'm a different actor, I'm a different person now that game comes out, but I'm still really, really proud of the work that I did in it, even though some people will probably never watch it. Hopefully people will, but again, I'm picking projects that excite me. I did the trailer for Slap Out of It at the Day of the Devs, which is a 4-person team, Turbo Button, which is like, think Bug Snacks meets Escape Academy crossed with Thank Goodness You're Here. It's so dumb and so fun. And I just saw that project and went, yeah, I'll collaborate with you guys.
Yeah.
Because I can. Am I curating a career? I'm trying to, but that's just because I'm saying no and I go, this doesn't work right now. You know, I do feel a little bit overexposed at times. I get a little bit nervous when I'm in another game because people just take note when I'm in stuff. But I also know that some people don't care. You know, that's just the noise of Twitter.
Yeah, I think you can't win with stuff like that, because for when you were having your breakout kind of year, it was like, oh, Ben Starr's in this, Ben Starr's in this, and then something changes in the wind, and then to some people that becomes Ben Starr's in this, and then it becomes Ben Starr's in this. It happened to Troy, it happened to Nolan, like it happens to.
As long as I'm good in stuff, though, like I don't really mind as long as I'm not going to be peddling out the same old stuff that gets quite tired. I don't really mind.
Yeah,
and the stuff that I've got coming up is different. That hasn't been announced yet. You will see me in a different key, and that's exciting. And as I think that if I can be interesting and versatile enough in those roles, and I bring the truth and the honesty to it, it shouldn't really matter. And people are going to be annoyed. The more annoyed people get, the better I'm probably doing.
Yeah,
you know.
That's the VGC motto.
It's better that you know and hate me than don't know me at all. You know, but because I will try and be. I'll try and be a decent person, and I will try and be nice to everyone that I can be, who deserves to be nice to. But yeah, I'm sure people will hate. I get it all the time. People like to hate me.
One thing I will say is you are the exact same person you were when we met in the Tower of London for Final Fantasy 16.
Bonded over that.
Yeah, it was a.
Have we spoken about that? What, Susanna Fielding?
I think we spoke about it last year, where she very, very casually dropped.
Dropped some hints, and I really appreciated that moment where I said you said your secret's safe with me, and when that's okay.
Because before we had the interview, we were chatting about like games media and stuff like that, and we were talking about Kind of Funny and stuff. And I think when I knew you were like one of the boys, when I saw that happen, and I saw your face, and I saw that little moment between the two of you, I was like. Yeah, that is fine. Don't worry about it. Like so, yeah. The arc has been kind of ridiculous. Like when I see you and all this stuff, I'm still like, yeah, that's it.
It is weird, isn't it? It is. I people that know me now, who knew me back then, they're like, oh, it's just fucking Ben, you know. And I think I am just fucking Ben.
But you still are that. I'm absolutely serious about that. And anyone who's in our Discord and stuff that has met you, they're always like. Most normal nice guy in the world, and I'm like, I'm telling you, it's.
I don't know how I would change. I don't know what I don't know what people would expect as well.
I think maybe when you said you were at the Playdate campus, I was like, man, is that like, can he walk about, or is it a constant kind of like stop? And any human, like, eventually it gets to the point where you're like, okay, I need to be able to just go and do my thing right now, but also you need to balance that with the fact that it's like that's probably the only time in. This person's life they'll get to meet me.
Yeah,
I don't want to fuck them.
Well, let me tell you, like I was standing right at the centre of the Playdays campus. Me, Jennifer English, Mark Cerny, Jeff Keighley, and Jacksepticeye were all just standing in the middle of the Playdays campus, and it was this kind of weird eclectic people of you probably know one person.
Yeah,
and it was pretty respectful, but I don't know. It can get a bit much. People are nice, but you see people who, you know, turn their heads or do their thing. I'm always happy to chat.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to chat to people as long as they understand that like I can't chat to them all day.
You've got places to be, like the VGC couch.
Yeah, I was like, listen, Jordan needs me right
Got
now.
extensive media commitments.
Yeah, this is my media commitment, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't really have any other media commitments.
That's the thing. Like, you could be, obviously you're in Fortnite, which is the biggest game, but if you're in Zero games, you're still on this couch, boy, next year.
I know, you didn't know. You said you got anything coming up, and I was like, I was going on the couch. It's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
You
Like,
didn't care about Fortnite. You didn't care about what I think is a great performance. How fucking dare you?
well, maybe we review it based on that performance.
I'm Geno.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I have heard that. A lot of people are saying it. It's all
A lot of people are saying, certainly not you, though.
Yeah, it's all the rage on the Playdays campus. But we're at the point now where stuff that you're in gets announced, and I knew you were in it, and then I text you and I'm like, "Oh, congratulations, you're in this," and you're like, "Mate, you fucking knew I was in this."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, I'm bound Starr's in it again.
Yeah, I really hope that that never gets old, being announced and stuff. The excitement of knowing that something's going to go out and seeing people react to stuff is really cool.
It must be a buzz, especially if it's a genuine surprise in a world where things get out just all the time now. For it to genuinely be a huge drop, it must be like such a thrill.
Yeah, and there are going to be those ones. You know, Clive and Tekken was a good one.
Clive and Tekken
was a sick one. Even you knew that fucking going into it, but like it was.
That was specifically the one that I texted you about.
Yeah.
When it came up, and I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I actually did know.
You did know. You did know. Right?
I think it was because like. And Alex Donaldson, shout out Johnny RPGs. The thing was, like, they previously had Final Fantasy characters, but they didn't use the English localization as the voice, and it was you in Tekken as opposed to your Japanese counterpart. So it's
because Clive is canonically English.
Yeah.
As much as people don't want to admit it, I did it first. That was a cool moment.
What do you think about that Tifa in Street Fighter?
Oh my god, I was so happy.
Yeah,
so happy. What a show.
Yeah.
What a show. Shout out Jeff Keighley for curating that. Like, that was exciting. I saw some of the script backstage, which I shouldn't have done. They just leave the script backstage, and I was like, it was on some of the pages.
It's probably Lucy. It's probably Lucy. Lucy Goosey, we call her around here.
No, Lucy was great. Lucy was great. It was just they just have a copy of the script in the green room, and it was just on a page. I'm like, oh shit, Final Fantasy Revelation, nice, sick.
You're going to pretend to me that you didn't know that it was Final Fantasy Revelation?
Did I know? I know a lot of things, but I don't know a lot about the things that I know.
Yeah, you hear big things on the wind.
Know.
And exactly, like
I can't wait for whenever Final Fantasy 17's out, and I don't fucking know a single thing.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy is my favorite franchise of all time. I cannot wait to not know a single. I can't wait to be sitting on that sofa and seeing the Square Enix logo come up and me go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and see a whole new world. I cannot wait for that. That is. For me, a brand new Final Fantasy entry is one of the most meaningful things that can happen to me as a person, as a consumer of entertainment, as a lover of any medium. And so when 17 finally comes out, I can't wait to know nothing about it.
Does it feel like almost being like Doctor Who for you, where when 17 comes out, it's like, okay, I'm no longer the current Final Fantasy mainline protagonist?
I mean, I'm not really like I don't. I'll always be Clive to people. So Clive exists in his own world. I've not been in the most recent Final Fantasy for years, you know, because Rebirth came out and Revelation is going to come out. Like people,
you snuck your way into Tactics, boy.
Yeah, I did.
It's maybe the happiest I've ever been for you when you got into Tactics. I was like,
yeah. That was great because I really didn't think people were going to pop for it, and I didn't think my voice was going to be in the trailer. And then I did a little tweet after it came out, and it just absolutely popped off because people just love that game.
Yeah,
and it's a special video game. And
there's a lot about the Final Fantasy franchise that I think, and I don't know if this is Square just not realizing that there's so many disparate elements of it that people are like desperate to see represented again, or if there's just so much that you can't do everything at once. But when they do a thing like bringing back a Tactics, it's such a hearts and minds for the community moment that, like, I think that was a much bigger deal than perhaps they were expecting it to be.
What a huge success for them as well.
Yeah.
And I believe it won. Did it win a Game Award?
I wouldn't know. I've never won a Game Award.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
Jennifer English.
Oh gosh, damn her and her excellent work.
Damn her and her generational performance.
One of my best friends succeeding in life. I'm so thrilled for Square and the success of that, and the level of detail that went into the care into bringing tactics back was immense. And I got to do the PAX panels, and I had a crazy day where I hosted the Clair Obscure Expedition 33 PAX panel at PAX West, and then I had to run to the next one next door to host the Final Fantasy Tactics one. That was when I was like, I will do anything for money. Like,
you've got to enjoy it while the sun's shining, mate. If that phone stops ringing, you're going to rue the day where you're like, oh, another game.
I think that even if the phone stops ringing, I've got enough characters in the back pocket to I could just sit back and not do anything for the rest of my career and be totally happy.
Yeah.
But I'm a greedy little prick and I want to do more stuff. I get excited. I want to do more stuff, and I feel more galvanized than ever to do really interesting, good work. And I want another. I described Clive as like a Mount Everest. It was a huge, huge, long project, and I'm looking for that next Mount Everest of like, I really get my teeth into it. Verso is a gift, and felt like, I don't know what it was about Verso as a character. I just felt like a home in it, and it felt so easy. It didn't feel like it was hard. I didn't have to struggle. Even in those moments where you just see Verso struggling, I felt easy. I kind of understood him, and so I kind of want to feel like a bad actor again. I thought I want to feel a little bit of that, because
something that totally challenges you, kind of takes
I
over
want to feel
you.
like a shit actor. And I don't mean that in the final product, but like stuff that you do and you're like, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling to get there. And maybe that's just masochistic of me, but it kind of keeps it interesting.
What are you, if you found it like super easy to do something like that? Would you think that you're not actually pushing yourself enough? If you joined like a 3-year project for like a big AAA and you're like, it's like putting on a pair of shoes.
It is nice when you go in and you fucking nail it. You're like, God, I'm a generational talent.
I'm going up the road. See you later.
But I have those mood swings all the time where I'll come into a session, I go, God, I am fucking amazing, and the next day I'll go, I may as well just go and kill myself because I'm just the worst. I had that in Fortnite actually. I had a session where I came out and I thought, I'm absolutely terrible at this, and I heard it back and it was great. But for whatever reason, I got in my mind that I wasn't doing great work. And again, some of the sessions. I don't believe an actor who says they think they're great in everything they do.
Yeah,
maybe, but I shouldn't speak for other people, but I don't believe it. There's some stuff you don't like, and it's nice to see the dissonance between the way that you perceive your own work and the way others perceive your own work, and I think that kind of keeps you, what I think is the correct definition of the word, humble.
Yeah.
Pet peeve: you win an award, you're not humble. Just saying.
I mean, you wouldn't know.
I would. Well, when people go up and go, God, I've just won this award, and I'm just so humbled by it. I'm like, what's humbling about winning an award?
As Jen English drags her black bin bag across the stage of 50 different awards,
she doesn't need it. She doesn't have the space.
Yeah, I know. Flats in London. Being a game actor doesn't pay that well.
Listen, I have. With the BAFTAs, I have received a BAFTA, I have given out a BAFTA, and I have never won one. Woe is me.
Woe is you.
I was dressed up as a fucking clown when I received it.
Pretty good though. That'll be your SEO for that's pretty. At least it's not still that headshot that was used throughout the entire Final Fantasy 15 era when you're about 12 years old.
Done. We're done now. We're done. I'm so done. Like I did some work with a photographer where I did some like different headshots, and I just put them out into the world. Now I'm really glad that like that one image of me isn't there. I'll get some more done this year as well, just so people can stop using the same headshots again and again and again and again and again.
Is it not a specific character maybe, but is there a character arc that you'd really like to play with? Is it a type of role that you've not had yet that you're screaming out for?
Yeah. Yeah, there's loads I'm screaming out for. I probably don't know it yet what it is, but I just want to do stuff that goes on a journey. I mean, it can't be underestimated how the length of the journey that Clive Rossfield goes on, and I just kind of want something like that, except different. I want something that makes me feel like that.
Another one for the Mount Rushmore, you think?
Yeah, there are some ones out there that I'm really kind of gunning for that I'd love to pursue, but I've been very vocal about new IP. And about how I think that is That is the key to longevity. In the short term, you can attach yourself to pre-existing IP because that's what you know. What do you want in a showcase? I want a sequel to this game because you know that. I saw someone trying to recast. They went, if in today's world you were recasting the original Star Wars trilogy, who would you cast? And they were being like, oh, I think it would be this actor or this actor or this actor. I'm like, they're all famous actors. All the cast of Star Wars were not famous when they got cast, and that's because they're the actors that they know. And it's literally, they were being like, well, David Corenswet. I'm like, because you just saw him in Superman last year. That's why you want him. And for me, I feel that about games where probably Expedition 33 will be the one game that has the most significant impact in my career, other than Final Fantasy. And it's brand new IP. It's built from the ground up, and because it was fresh and exciting, I was there at the inception. We should be thinking about creating stuff that we can then build off, not keep chipping away at the same old stuff. And I mean that about characters. It's like if I was to play a character that's been played by other people before, people are always going to compare that, and it means that there's less room for me to put my stamp on it. I'm always going to be going back saying this person has played this character before, and I would have to be reverential towards their brilliant performance. And the reason people love that character is because of that actor, and therefore you have less room to explore. Verso is an original character. Clive is an original character, albeit in an established IP. Therefore, people associate me with that character because I was able to put my stamp on it. That's, as an actor, what I want to be able to do, have the freedom to go in and be as expansive as I possibly can, and then build from there.
I do think about that because I think it's very difficult, especially in a situation. I thought Troy was sensational as Indiana Jones, and when that was first announced, I thought this is an extremely dangerous thing to do because people will just say you're just doing a Harrison Ford impression, and that's like one of the only instances where it's like he's not doing a Harrison Ford impression, he's playing Indiana Jones who happens to perform in this way. But I think that, as you're saying, especially in an era of video games at the moment where more studios are wanting to build the character alongside the actor, like I spoke to Sean Jury earlier this week about Control Resonant, and he was like, yeah, this game was basically in grey box when the director called me and was like, okay, we're doing this, let's build it together. Like, is that the kind of op that you're looking for, as opposed to kind of a drop in later in development where things are more established?
I think what you're talking about is obviously game development, which is like where in the process am I going to jump in, and how much can I have the most creative control? I understand my limits as an actor of what I can provide. Like, I'm not necessarily going to write the script or guide where the character goes. I can add my 2 cents there. Within performance, I always feel like I'm a servant to the writer, the director, all of those things. The story, ultimately the story. For me, it's more to do with, well, who do you want to play? Of course I want to play Kane or Raziel. Of course I do.
Yeah.
But people are going to compare me to people who have played that before, or people are going to, of course I want to play X brilliant character superhero because people have already played it before. I really like the fact that I want to do a character where I don't have to do that. Where I don't feel like I'm taking something of someone's work and having to work with it. I think what is truly exceptional about Troy's work in Indiana Jones is, for whatever reason, it feels entirely his.
Yeah.
It is, I think, one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in a video game. I platinum trophied that game. I did the DLC as well. I went up to him at the DICE Awards. I'm like, dude, I have just no life that game. Like Howard Hughes going up to him. The amount of skill that goes into what he achieved with Indiana Jones is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that game is massively underrated, and I think it's because of when it came out. It came out in a period where it wasn't eligible for that year's Game Awards, and therefore the conversation kind of moved on from it. And then this year's Game Awards, obviously, the preceding year of games had been released, so we had it in all our lists and stuff like that. Yeah. But
it's amazing. I also think that the Vatican is one of the great.
Oh, it's so sick.
Just one of the great like hub / open world, open zone areas I've ever played in a game. It's the most exciting. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, but I just think the writing is so clever. The level design is brilliant. The way they kind of pass out all of the little things that you need to know for the game going forward is absolutely great. And then actually, what's the name of the DLC?
Order of Giants.
Order of Giants. I did that after I finished the game because you can do Order of the Giants immediately. So I played it a little bit later, and I came back because I wanted to go back. And then obviously it's not in the Vatican; it takes you through. It's so good. It's so good, and all the performances are great. They feel authentically Indiana Jones in the same way I would say that IO's First Light feels authentically James Bond. I was
just about to ask, come on now. How the hell are you not in that? I was fully expecting you to pop up at some point.
I auditioned for James Bond.
Oh, did you?
I did. I auditioned for James Bond years ago. I never would have got it. I was terrible. No, I remember doing a self-tape for it. I did the GoldenEye scene, and then I got a recall to come and meet the team. I think at IO and Eon at the time, there was a room, and it was just really intimidating. And I think I was a couple of years into doing Final Fantasy at that point, hadn't been released. I was just a young actor who liked video games. And they were like, have you ever done video games before? And I'm like, I'm working on one that I can't really talk about. And I really kind of crumbled under the pressure, and I didn't deliver what they wanted. And I'm so fucking happy I didn't get anywhere near it, because my God, Patrick Gibson is so fucking good at that game. He's unbelievable. And just wowee. I'm so pleased I didn't get any further along that process, because I got to experience. I mean, I would say I'm about a third of the way through the game right now. I had to stop because I fly over here. But it's so good.
It's brilliant. I think that the way that they have cast that game is perfect. I think that even just the length of it, the length of play session, where you're like, it's chaptered, so you feel like you've accomplished something. Have you done the chess mission yet? The first big open one? That's so IO. Like when that opens
it's so
up
exciting.
Like,
as a World of Assassination super fan. When they I'd already seen the gameplay footage of that first when they show it to you, but there's something so thrilling of getting your hands on the sticks and then playing it and then thinking, even how do you get in? There's so many different ways. Well, I'm going to choose this way, but so I got the you find the secret pass in the vase,
the press pass
and the other thing. But there were other ways that you could have done. You could have put the sprinkler on the person, and I just thought it feels fluid, it feels intuitive, and it never feels. Like Aleph is a great example of just brilliant world design. You need to get 100,000, go and have a play, and I'm thinking, like, before you know it, I'm breaking into a
climbing up this big tower. That was a moment where I was like, is that when they're like, oh, you need $100,000? I thought that would maybe be one little thing you do, and like, oh, you happen to you stole 100,000. It's like, no, that's actually the conceit of this chunk. Oh, not even the whole mission, just this chunk of the mission. And there's so many little bits in that Aleph area that you don't need to do, and then to get the amount.
I didn't do like 3 things, and I want to go back and do all of them. And I am a completionist, so part of me goes, I want to go back and do all of them. But actually, because I think the narrative is so strong, I'm like, this is what my Bond is doing. I met Lenny James at the BAFTAs because he handed out the award that I didn't win.
Another one?
Oh my God, just fucking hell.
Give Ben an award, please.
I don't give
Come
a shit.
on now, give him one.
I don't want
Shut him up.
I don't want one. I've got 2 golden joystics. Listen, I'm happy with that. Fan voted, so it matters.
Yeah.
It's nice to be. It'd be nice if your peers recognise you, but still,
lovely bit of populism for you there. All that matters is the fans.
Yeah. I do it. That's who I do it for. I do it for the fans. I don't do it for the critical recognition. But yeah, I'm such a huge fan of like Lenny James as an actor in general, and I think his work as Greenway is amazing. Like. Anthony Howell as well is a really, really good friend of mine. I think he's an astonishing actor. He's like the quality of the cast is incredibly high. I'm so happy for the team. I'm so happy that I knew very little going in, because it just continues to surprise. The ebbs and flows of combat, followed by exploration, followed by story, followed by investigation. It's so good, and I'm so happy that it's celebrated and it's doing really, really well.
When your mates are in games and you're in the pub,
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that wants to know a lot of stuff, or just like, oh, that's cool, you're working on that?
I tell people to not, like, Nick Apostolides was working on Resident Evil Requiem. I kept asking him about it, and he wouldn't tell me. He is the best of all the people I've ever known. In this industry. He is the best at keeping an NDA. Because I badger him. Because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Requiem, fuck me, what a game. Capcom, in fact, what a fucking year. I cannot believe it.
They're just putting out games all the time. Like, it doesn't. No one else can put out games. Capcom.
Pragmata, 10 out of 10 fucking banger. Requiem, absolute banger. I had a triple punch of playing Requiem, then Pragmata, and then Saros, Bush, all the way through. Platinums across the board, baby.
Hell yeah.
Unbelievable video games. No, I pretty much know the protagonist in all of them. David Menken is my friend. Rahul Kohli is my friend. And, like, Nick just didn't tell me anything. Didn't tell me anything about it. And
you're saying the Brits are bad for it?
What, about keeping NDAs?
Yeah.
Look,
they are.
Look, Brits are very good at keeping NDAs, but they also understand who needs to know and who doesn't need to know. Everyone in the industry knows what games are coming out, what games are not coming out. It's about being professional and understanding that you just don't leak stuff.
It's the be sound mentality.
I'm going to say this. Leakers, go fuck yourself, because everyone knows. You're not smart. Everyone knows what games are coming out and what games aren't coming out. You just choose to leak them.
Yeah.
You just choose to say stuff. You don't know more than anyone else. You just decided to open your goddamn fucking mouth. And it ruins it. It does. I think it ruins it for people who work really hard on these games, because actually that pop of when you do have that moment, it can't ever be taken back. And it really disappoints me. So you can talk about a project with people, but understand, like, have a bit of discretion and understand that, like, people are working for months and months and months towards that moment where the reveal finally happens, because it does matter to people. You'll remember exactly where you were when you first saw that Final Fantasy VII Remake was happening. Or Shenmue 3, that amazing press conference, or when you first saw whatever game being announced. Like, you remember where you were.
My feeling on it is, obviously on the podcast and stuff like that, we sometimes refer to stuff that is like miles and miles away in like a general sense, but it's more of, I think there's a difference between that and a game is about to be announced, let's torpedo the announcement kind of situation.
That's the problem I have. I think there is... Listen, I consume all the media I'm very interested by. People talking about conversations about games that we think we know about. There's a difference between that and someone deliberately saying, "Oh, this thing's happening.
This is at that show. This is when it's coming out." And it's
because we know, everyone knows,
it's a litmus
and it's not
test.
smart.
Like, I think that there is some people have decided to make a trade of doing that, and whatever, fine. But I don't know what the audience value is on stuff like that. Like,
but there clearly is an audience value.
Yeah, I suppose, yes, but I feel like if we, which we could have, posted the entire Xbox show this morning before it happened, I feel like the VGC audience would be massively pissed off at us for that, because I think, especially when you get that close to it, and while some stuff did like leak out over the night and stuff like that, and I think there's actually quite a big difference between game leaks and like policy change leaks and stuff like that, but that's a different conversation. I think when you get that close, just let people enjoy it.
It's funny. I mean, again, I feel this I know why people do it, because it makes people feel big. For 24 hours, you're the big I am. You get, please enjoy your 1,000 likes. And do you know, what have you done it for? You've done it for a few pieces of silver and a couple of Reddit posts. That's what you've done it for. And if that makes you feel good, then great. If that makes you feel like you are worth something in the industry, if you feel like you're doing a fuck you to the power in some way, that's probably why you're doing it. But it is not taking into consideration the hard work that people, not companies, it dehumanizes the work that people work incredibly hard. I have known people that have worked on reveal trailers and they have kept them secret, and they work really, really hard to make sure that they are secret. And then someone goes, "This thing's happening." Like, okay, cool. Well, kind of fuck you then.
Yeah.
And it is hard to keep a secret. It is hard to keep a secret, but also just understand that don't be a thief of someone else's joy.
Yeah.
I know that's me being idealistic in an industry that actually, we're at a Summer Game Fest, which is literally a hype machine.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on other than everyone going, this is the stuff that's coming out. You know, we're there because we want to hype up. So knowing stuff in advance is part of the business. Talking about stuff is the business. We consume podcasts that is talking about the business. I understand that's what it is, but just don't.
It's how you choose to disseminate that.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Everyone who, for example, talks about a game that's super far out could be talking about stuff that is very close. There's almost like in my mind at least, there is a mental cut-off where it's like there's no point now. There's no, and even stuff that's far off. If I'm going to talk about it, there is at least some kind of justification for it in the context of that conversation. But as I said, when something happened recently, a comment on a podcast very different from an extensive report on VGC, and I think that there's a line somewhere. Sometimes I maybe get the wrong side of it, but it's something I think about a lot, because there is a human element of, I have absolutely reported on things in the past that maybe we weren't the ones to post it, but someone posts it and it gets doubled up, and there is a human reaction to that on the other side. And it's the same with reviewing games that, you know, people have like lost everything over, but you have to review them.
Yes.
You can't take that stuff into account. Like, you just have to be like surgical about it, and it is legitimately hard. The worst thing that ever happened was people finding out that Fallout New Vegas Metacritic was like tied to bonuses, and they didn't get their bonus because it was 84 instead of 85. As soon as that happened, and as soon as things like EA Spouse happened and things like that, media criticism, when you're criticizing something that thousands of people have worked on, and you're just one voice, but it can be a very impactful voice. It's
not your fault though.
It isn't my fault, but it's still a thing I think of. I think if people didn't think about it at all, I think that'd be a little bit sociopathic, like being completely divorced from that situation. But you can think about it and not have it impact your work.
Metacritic.
Yeah.
What a fun thing that is. The New Vegas 85, I think, is fucking criminal.
Oh yeah.
I think it's absolutely criminal. But the industry continues to highly regard a Metacritic score, because it's quite literally point scoring. It's fandoms, you know. That's
the one everyone knows about, but there have been plenty of others since then that are not as publicly,
because people know to shut up about it.
Yeah.
Because they are, you know, if this gets a 90 or above, when people do pitch documents, they tell you what they hope the Metacritic score will be.
Yep.
When they pitch a game, they go, this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a game that is an 85 and above. People inherently know what that means. That is a level of prestige. If you get an 85 and above, that is a successful video game. In 2026, 85 and above is fucking amazing for a video game. It's very, very hard to get that. I think last year we had like shitloads of 90s. That is unheard of. And certainly when you're getting up to Baldur's Gate 396,
that's like you're in the San Andreas rarefied air. It's like that in Ocarina of Time and 2 Tony Hawk games. Like it's
and NFL 2K1 on the Dreamcast. That is a 97 on Metacritic.
The thing with the Baldur's Gate review score is, I think those huge scores became much harder to get when the pool of critics that Metacritic uses got so much wider, because you're always going to get someone that doesn't gel with it. Yeah. But when something like that happens of that scale, it's a reason it becomes a news story on VGC. It's like, the highest rated game of the year is one of the top 10 highest rated games ever.
Yeah, I find the user score fascinating. Like, now people use that, being like, you know, I don't want to get too much into it because I'm sure someone will pick this apart, but there is something very intriguing about the way people use user score and the way people use the Metacritic score. I think the way scores in general are fucking pointless, because an 8 out of 10 game means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. Some of the best games I've ever played are 8 out of 10 video games. Because we kind of know what we mean by an 8 out of 10 video game.
I was going to say, do you think scores are worthless, or do you think the way people react to scores are worthless? Because I am a big defender of scores, because I think it helps contextualize when I'm talking about a game.
Score's great. Score something. Say what you feel out of 10. Fine. Like, you guys do a dangerous thing. You do a 5-point system. You can make or fucking break a game. It's dangerous. VGC giving 5 points. You kidding me? That's crazy. Because it's either 100 or it's 80.
Yeah.
Dude, It's crazy. It's the same with Eurogamer, right?
Yeah.
They went back to a system. They give something 3 stars, which to other people that's 60,
Yeah.
and it can crash a Metacritic score. But I think that tying the worth of a game to a Metacritic score is dangerous. But it is also something that is I don't have a solution for, and again, getting on a soapbox and talking about it, it's a really messy business, because actually it does matter to a lot of people because they are used as metrics of success, but they also aren't metrics of sales success. You can have a critical darling that sells nothing, and then you can have a game studio that makes Hi-Fi Rush, and then good for them, we're back in business, but then you fucking get rid of them. Like, the industry is so volatile now that there actually isn't any such thing as a surefire hit.
Yeah.
Even if you get amazing scores or brilliant amount of sales, it doesn't really matter. People have different ways of making their voice known. I do think there are more avenues than ever of people trying to, audiences in particular, kind of galvanizing their fan base and saying, we need to make sure that the user score is as high as possible, or the Steam review scores are as low as possible, because we don't like an update that's happened to the game.
And that is like it's sadly quite an effective way to communicate to publishers, and it's very wrong-headed, but
yeah. But is it, or is it in fact brilliant?
It's democracy in action, baby.
Is it democracy in action? Did we ask for this? Is this actually that? I do think that my most infuriating, my number one pet peeve in the games industry right now is, and I know we need to talk about it, and it's a story, but can we fucking get over Steam concurrence? Can we please fucking get over Steam concurrence?
People always read those stories, though.
They do, and I read them. I fucking hate them because they mean nothing.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is abstracting information and placing it completely out of context. You want to go to fucking Steam concurrence? Why aren't we constantly commenting on Counter-Strike all the time?
Yeah.
Why aren't we
going to... Steam concurrents are a useful data point among many data points.
They obfuscate the truth.
Yeah.
They are so fucking unhelpful in culture wars that are being like... Steam concurrent. I mean, aren't PlayStation trying to do this? No?
They're rolling it out, which can only go well.
It's going to go so well for everyone. Like, you can, but people are going to point score in the same way that user scores, Metacritic scores. You're going to cherry pick evidence to tell the story of the narrative that you want to tell. And right now, it's Steam concurrent on any game, right? Really. What, Baldur's Gate 3 is still like consistently like 50,000 players?
Yeah.
It's fucking astonishing.
And people were going crazy about the Bond concurrence, like, oh, it was huge and then it went down. It's like, yeah, mate, people finished the game. We used to do this thing where we finished like a 15-hour game and then we went and played something else. We're not locked into it for life. Like,
you also have no understanding of what a successful game is for some people. Like, some people, a successful game is 100,000 copies sold. People are obsessed with the budget of that game. And I think, again, we are in an industry, you are very much at the epicenter of that industry, that needs to find narratives. It looks for narratives in games. I think sometimes people can find incorrect narratives that can have direct and harmful ramifications on real people's lives. I think a lot of people choose to dehumanize individuals as a result of that, and they're like throwing stuff around. It's very, very easy to use these things to be quite mean. And what's crazy is I've met some people at SGF who online are quite mean.
Yep.
But in real life, they're really nice.
I don't get that.
No, neither do I.
I don't.
Their entire online persona is that of being negative, and I mean on whatever side, very vocal. Being very vocal and very aggressive,
so combative over
everything, and I'm really not picking a side in this. People who are like, I believe in this, or I believe in this, and then you meet them in real life and they're the complete opposite of that, because actually what you realize is they're working the business of this industry, and they also probably aren't taking responsibility for the people that they are weaponizing in the pursuit of their fucking monetization of the thing that they're doing. And that is really upsetting. And I get you got to go out and get your bag, right? there are people out there who've made money off slagging me off, right? Who want to take something that I've said out of context and want to make a headline. And I'm sure there'll probably be something in here that will be said in that way. And I get that you've got to do that, but there are real world repercussions to those things. I know you don't care because probably it's like, well, Ben Starr's fucking fine, and I'm not talking about really me. I'm talking about other people. But it is weird. But also it's the business, right? It's the dehumanization, the gamification of real life. You understand the world through video games, and therefore you treat the internet as an extension of those games, and you dehumanize the people who actually work on those things and have a real world impact.
Very well put. Well, as Lily Allen blasts out at the pool,
I know. Thanks, Lily.
We're going to go and hold my hand. We're going to go and sit and sunbathe. I'm going to get my kicks off, and Ben's going to help me lather up while the sun beats down. Ben, it's been a joy.
What a joy.
It's been a pleasure. We'll be back here in 2027. Do you think you'll have more games to talk about next year?
Yeah. I absolutely will. Yeah, I really will. That's fun.
Yeah, you really will. You really will.
I think I will. No, I really will.
Yeah, you really
That's
will.
fun. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll come back and we'll be like, that thing we said at the thing, we get to talk about.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good? But maybe I'll be dead. So in which case, R.I.P. Ben. He lived.
If Raul Coley's sitting on this chair next year, then things have gone downhill, or we've got a massive upgrade, depending on what you think about it.
I'd love to do. Well, I'll chat with Raul Coley. I love Raul Coley.
Oh, so he's replacing me on this couch.
I bumped into him at the Alamo Draft House the other day. Yeah, just bumped into him.
It's a big piss head.
He is.
Fame.
He is. I love the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, because they showed this. I think they showed the state of play in there the other day.
Yeah, I was there watching Obsession. That's a fucking film.
A little Blumhouse job.
It's have you seen it?
I don't like films, so no.
Oh, so mad. If you love films, what a film. That's a film. If you even watch that film, that film fucks.
Yeah. See, this is you and Louise Blaine from Blumhouse. I mean, she has vested interest in it, obviously, but she
I have
was
no vested interest. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And I think it's such a all good horror really tells a story about like the state of social psychosis at the moment. Like what are we really pinning down right now? And bodily autonomy is fucking terrifying, and it's unbelievable. It's funny, it's witty, it's terrifying. It's infinitely quotable. I will be dressing up as some of the characters from Obsession.
Hell yeah. Well, if you'd like to see a game that Ben's in, there's a little indie title called Fortnite that he is doing some. He's playing The Rock, which is exciting.
Can you also? I want to shout out to the team at Turbo Button. Please go and wishlist if you can. Slap out of it. It's so fun. It's so fun. I've played it, and I'm not shilling for it. I said yes to it because I just thought it was a really fucking cool game, and I do believe in it. It was actually on Lucy's recommended for her new
looking for game.
Looking for game.
Looking for game.
So yeah, that
excellent.
please.
Well, this podcast has actually been supported by Kepler, funnily enough.
Really?
Yes.
Orbitals.
Well, actually, not Orbitals, but go and check out Orbitals. If you go to patreon.com/videogameschronicle and join at the Insider tier or above, you'll be delivered a game on Steam from Kepler's back catalogue, including, possibly, Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Oh, Kepler have some good games.
They really do.
Oh my God.
Sifu, Scorn,
yeah.
like some
Rematch.
proper stuff. Rematch, hell of a title. I bought the Ronaldinho skin in Rematch because I'm a proper baller. That's patreon.com/videogameschronicle. That's
patreon.com/videogameschronicle.
Thank you. Patreon.com/
patreon.com/videogameschronicle.
Hi, I'm Ben Starr.
Why do people do that? Why do they go, hi, I'm Ben Starr? Like, do it. But no, actually, that was really dismissive because you should be able to express yourself however you want.
No, I've got a long history of bad impressions, but hi, I'm Ben Starr.
This is the pitfalls of trying to take on a character that already exists.
Yeah. Well, if Troy can do it, I can do it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next year with more games and, crucially, more Ben Starr. Say goodbye, Ben.
Goodbye, Ben.
And we'll see you next time. VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you,